Okay, let's look at the homework 5.1, 5.2, number 12. Right? So we want to evaluate this integral using a simple power rule. Right? So let's do that. Alright, so first, in order to apply a simple power rule, I'm going to just multiply this out. So this is going to be equal to integral. Alright, so it's going to be 5 squared would be 25. Right? And minus 2 times 5 times 10, so it's at x, so 10x. Then negative x squared, so it's going to be plus x squared. So just multiply that out. Then we want to evaluate that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do it here. So it's going to be, alright, so antiderivative of 25 is 25x. Right, antiderivative of this is going to be, let's see, negative 10. Just put it in front and add 1 to the power, so it's squared, divide by 2, right? And plus antiderivative of x squared would be x cubed, and divide by 3, right? So clean up a little, plus some constancy, right? So clean up, 2 and 10 cancel out, so you're going to have 5 left, right? So I'm going to just go ahead and write that. So I'm going to write it, I'm going to put the highest term first. So you have x cubed over 3, right? Next one is negative 5x squared, negative 5x squared. And then you have 25x. And plus some constancy. Right? So let's type that in. Alright, so it was x cubed and over 3 minus 5x squared plus 25x plus some constancy. Alright, so we have that. Alright, so let's use general power rule. Alright, so let's go back. Alright, so we want to use a general power rule, so substitution. Alright, so we're going to do a substitution. Let u to be, right, 5 minus x. Right? Then take the derivative of u with respect to x, which is going to be negative 1. Right? Derivative of 5 is 0. Derivative of negative x is negative 1. Right? So then take the reciprocal of both sides. You have a dx over du is equal to 1 over negative 1 is still negative 1. Right? Then we can just multiply through by du, so that we can isolate dx, which is negative du. Right? So let's rewrite this integral down here using u. Right? So using the substitution, this is going to be an integral. Right? We decided to call 5 minus x u. Right? So it's going to be u squared. Then dx is negative du. So it's negative du. Alright, so we can put the negative sign outside, so it's negative. Then you have an integral, right? U squared du. Right, so this is just a power rule, so it's negative. Alright, you have u cubed over 3 plus some constant c. Right? Then we have put the original guy back. It's going to be negative quantity 5 minus x cubed over 3. Right? So plus some constant. Right? So it's let's multiply this out and see what we can get. So this is going to be negative. Alright, I'm gonna put the 1 over 3 right here. Alright, so negative sign and the 1 over 3. Alright, if you multiply this out, you're gonna get, let's see, alright, 5 cubed. So you're gonna get the 5 cubed, right? And minus 3 times 5 squared times x, right? And plus 3 times 5 times x squared. Then you have minus x cubed, right? Plus some constant c, right? Then try to simplify it out. So you're going to get, let's see, this is going to be equal to, maybe I'm going to go up here, sorry. Go up here, right? So there's negative 1/3 times, so let's do the highest power, times this guy. So this is distributed to negative x cubed. So that's going to be x cubed over 3, right? So if you distribute negative 1 over 3 to this guy, right? So 3's cancel out, so it's going to be negative 5x squared, right? Then if you distribute negative 1/3 to that guy, so it's going to be negative cancel out, and the 3 cancel out, so it's going to be positive. All right, 5 squared is 25x, right? Then you have last one, so negative 1/3 times 5 cubed, so it's going to be negative, right, over 3, and 5 cubed is what, 125, and plus some constant c, right? So let's type that in. All right, so the answer was x cubed over 3 minus 5x squared plus 25x minus 125 over 125 over 3 plus c. Right? So that's the answer. Right? Then explain the difference in the results. All right, so you can see that because c and c minus negative 125 over 3 are different, two answers represent the same family of functions. Right? Not because these are, but it is the same family of functions. Right? But so c represents any constant c. C minus 125 over 3 can be written as c. Yeah. Two answers represent different family. No, it's got to be the same family, so this is not going to be it. Because c represents any constant, c can be written as c. Yeah, two answers represent the same family of functions. So that's the answer, right? Because c and c minus are different, the two answers represent different families, so that's not going to be it, right? So that's that. You can see that there's a difference between these two guys. You can see that the first term's exactly the same, second term exactly the same, third term exactly the same, but the constant term here we just have c, but you have a c plus negative 125 over 3. But remember that the c is any constant, so there is no reason to write a constant here. You can let the c absorb this guy, so that you can just write at c, right? But anyway, these two are the same family of functions, right? So let's check the answer. Okay, you came back and looks like we got these guys all correctly. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.